Hello students. So today we will discuss about another part or another topic in the chapter nutrition in animal. What is our topic? Our topic is today teeth and tongue. So let's start with the teeth first. Okay. Now before the food can be used by the body, it must be broken down into small pieces. The first part of the breakdown of the food is done by what? Is done by teeth. We chew the food with the teeth and break it down mechanically into small pieces. Okay. Now these teeth, where it is present inside our buccal cavity or inside our mouth cavity. I think all of you know which is a buccal cavity or mouth cavity. Okay. Now there are four types of teeth in our mouth. What are its name? The names are incisor, canine, molars and premolars. Okay, incisor, number 1 incisor, number 2 is canine, number 3 is premolar, number 4 is molar. Okay, now what are their functions? Incisors are they are what? They are the chisel shaped teeth, okay, at the front of the mouth. Later I'll show you the diagram. Over there you will see the position of this type of teeth. Now what are its functions? The incisors, they are for biting and cutting the food. Okay, now how many incisors are present? There are 4 incisors present in the center of each jaw. Now the question is, how many jaws are present? 2 jaws are present inside our mouth cavity, upper jaw and the lower jaw. And as you all know, you have read in class 6, upper jaw, that is a fixed joint with our skull, right? Now next is what? Next is canines. Okay, canines are what? They are the large pointed teeth just behind the incisors. Okay, what is its function? Canines are for piercing and tearing the food. Okay, now there are 2 canines in each jaw, one behind the left incisor and another behind the right incisor. Next is premolar. Premolar, they are large teeth just behind the canines on each side of the jaw. Now premolars, they have large and flat surfaces. Okay, and what are their functions? Their functions are for chewing and chewing and grinding the food. There are 4 premolars in the jaw, 2 on each side. Okay, that means in upper jaw, in either side 2 and in another side 2, that means 4, and in the lower jaw same 4. Now molars, the next is molar. Molars are very large teeth which are present just behind the premolars towards the back of our mouth. Okay, now these molars, they have got the large surface area than premolars. Okay, and the function of the molar is same as that of the premolar. What? That is for chewing and grinding the food. Okay, there are 6 molars in each jaw, 3 on each side. Okay, now these molars are present only in the permanent set of teeth. Later I will discuss that there are actually 2 sets of teeth. One is a milk teeth that grows during our childhood and another one is a permanent teeth. Okay, so during our childhood, okay, no permanent means no molars are present. That means in the milk teeth no molars are present. Okay, they are only present in our permanent set of teeth. Okay, so how many teeth are present? How many total teeth are present in both the jaw? In an adult man and woman, okay, they have got what? They have got total 32 teeth. Of this, 16 are present in the upper jaw and 16 are present in the lower jaw. Okay, and this 16 teeth of each jaw, it consists of 4 incisors, 2 canines, 4 premolars and 6 molars. Okay, and the teeth in the upper jaw, it matches with the teeth in the lower jaw. Okay, so these are the types of teeth. Now next set of teeth that we will discuss is milk teeth and permanent teeth. Now in human beings, the teeth, it grows twice. Okay, the first time the teeth grows when one is a small baby or infant. Okay, these set of teeth is called what? Milk teeth. So the first set of teeth which grow during the infancy are the milk teeth, and these milk teeth, they are temporary set of teeth. This milk teeth, it loosens and begins to fall off at the age between 6 to 8 years. Okay, then when the milk teeth falls off in a child, then another set of teeth grows in their place. So the second time the teeth grows when one is a child. This second set of teeth is called what? Permanent teeth. Okay, that is permanent teeth, it grows in the place of milk teeth. These permanent set of teeth, it remains till the old age, but when the old people lose their permanent teeth, a new teeth does not grow in their place. So this is a figure or diagram. Here you can see the set of the teeth. Also here you can see the shape and size of the teeth, each of the teeth, that is incisor, canine, molars and premolar. Next, our next topic is tooth decay. Okay, now let's discuss about tooth decay. First, what is tooth decay? Tooth decay is a process in which the tooth becomes rotten due to the formation of cavities inside it, leading to toothache. What do you mean by the term cavity? Cavity means hole. Okay, now toothache, it is a very common phenomenon in case of the small children, because small children, they all love to have chocolates and most of the sugary items. Okay, now the white hard outer covering of tooth is called what? Enamel. That means the part of the teeth which is visible to us, that is what? That is the enamel. Okay, now the part of the tooth below the enamel is known as what? Is known as dentine. You can see here in the figure. Okay, now dentine, it is similar to the bone. Okay, inside the dentine there is a pulp cavity which contains what? Which contains nerves and blood vessels. Now if the teeth are not cleaned regularly, then what happens? This tooth decay, it takes place. Okay, now how this tooth decay takes place? Now listen carefully. Now if we don't clean our teeth and mouth after eating the food, then what happens? Many harmful bacteria, it begins to grow and live on the teeth. Now the bacteria, it acts on the sugar which is present in the leftover food particles, sticking to the teeth to form acid. Okay, now this acid thus formed eats up the enamel and dentine of the tooth gradually, and ultimately what happens? It makes the cavity in the tooth. Okay, now when this cavity, it reaches the pulp cavity of the tooth, that means which contains the nerve, our tooth, it becomes very painful, and then what happens? We get the toothache. Okay, now these cavities are caused by toothache are not treated by time. Okay, they are treated by fillings by dentist, that causes severe toothache even. Okay, now what happens in case of extreme cases? The toothache, sometimes it can lead to the loss of the whole tooth. Okay, so excessive use of sugar containing foods such as, you can say, sweets, chocolates, toffees, ice cream, cold drinks, okay, these are the major cause of tooth decay. So it is always recommended to clean your mouth after every meal. Okay, so here you can see the stages of the tooth decay as I have explained. Now how this tooth decay, it can be prevented? Here you can see in the slide how it can be prevented. We should rinse the mouth thoroughly with a clean water after every meal. Okay, after every meal we should always put some water inside our mouth and we should clean it thoroughly. Then we should clean our teeth with a brush and toothpaste at least twice a day, early in the morning and during night. Now a dental floss should be used to take out the food particles which are trapped between the teeth. Okay, now what is a dental floss? Dental floss, it is a soft thread used to clean in between the teeth. Okay, which is used to clean between the gaps of the teeth. Sometimes what happens, the food, it gets stuck inside, which can also lead to the formation of cavities. Okay, next we should eat less of sugary foods such as I said, sweets, chocolates, toffees, ice cream. Too much of cold drinks should also be avoided, because sugar plus bacteria is equals to what? Acid, which eats up the tooth. So this is all about your tooth and the description of teeth. Our next topic is tongue. Okay, now what is tongue? Here you can see the definition. The tongue, it is a fleshy muscular organ in the mouth which is attached at the back of the floor of the buccal cavity. Okay, now this tongue, it is free at the front and can be moved in all direction. Okay, now what are the various functions of the tongue? Let's see. The tongue, it helps in mixing the saliva with food during chewing. As we already know that when we eat starch, a salivary gland, it is present inside our buccal cavity and it secretes what? It secretes saliva. Now saliva, it contains certain enzyme known as amylolytic enzyme. Now it helps in the breakdown of starch. Okay, so this mixing of saliva with the food is very essential, and this is done by what? This is done by tongue. One more interesting thing I must say you, that the question is, suppose which is the most strongest muscle? The most strongest muscle is our tongue. Next, number 2, the tongue, it helps in getting the taste of a food. We will read regarding the taste bud after this. Okay, number 2, the tongue, it is essential for talking. You already know, while we talk, our tongue is essential, and the tongue, it helps in swallowing the food inside the food pipe. Now here you see in the picture of this tongue, here you can see the taste buds are present. Basically 4 kinds of tastes are there: sweet, salty, sour and bitter. Okay, now at the back side of the tongue, the bitter taste bud is present. Okay, in the both side of the tongue, that means in the both side, left side and right side, the sour taste buds are present. At the tip of the tongue, the sweet taste bud is present, and just behind the sweet, salty taste bud is present. Okay, now this tongue, as I said you, it has taste buds which detect different tastes of a food. Okay, now these taste buds are for each of these tastes are located in different parts of the tongue, as I said you. Okay, now as I said you that most taste buds at the front of the tongue detect sweet and salty taste. The maximum effect of sweet taste is felt at the tip of the tongue. Okay, whereas the maximum effect of salty taste is felt just behind the tip of the tongue. Next, most of the taste buds on the sides of tongue, it detect what? Sour taste. Okay, and most of the taste buds at the back of the tongue, it detect the bitter taste. Okay, so we can distinguish between ice and ice cream even with our eyes closed from their taste. Okay, a piece of ice kept on the tongue will appear to be tasteless, whereas a piece of ice cream will give you a sweet taste. So this is all about today's lesson. In our next class, we will read about ruminating animals and the process of digestion in amoeba. Thank you, students.